What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Techbot Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another helpful video or another live video. This is my buddy Harley, and we were just talking yesterday, and we're talking about like how we're able to see that growth with my little sister in her Robinhood account, and it's cool being able to see that growth firsthand because of the approach that or the impact that I can have on her. But she's not here, and you guys can't really necessarily see her. So something that I thought would be pretty cool was like I kind of just asked Harley. I was like, hey, would you be interested in just starting to day trade? He went ahead and opened a Robinhood account last night. He funded it, and it's all ready to go. So it all got approved and ready to go in like was it approved right away?
Yeah, it was approved right away. This last night, it was probably within 10 minutes I already running my account.
Yeah, so he has good credit. So you guys want to make sure that if you guys are opening your Robinhood account, and it might take a couple days, it might be because you have new credit or maybe not the best credit, but Harley has good credit, so it approved him right away. And I think that's the same experience that I had when I first opened mine. But if you guys don't have your Robinhood account, there's a link down below so you guys can download and get a free stock when you first open your account. So I do want to let you know about that. But I thought it would be such a cool experience for me to break down, just like we've seen before, break down how to identify potential, and we're going to go into detail about current stocks that are trending so that can help you guys out as well, but also have an individual that can do follow-up videos maybe on a weekly basis and talk about the growth that he's seen on his account, as well as his best practices and his mistakes for those that are trading with less than $1,000. Right now we're just starting him out, so I want him to get kind of the whole mechanics down, but then we're going to be starting his own YouTube channel, because I think it would be a very effective approach that we can have on people, because it's not very realistic for, I have over $25,000 in my brokerage account. I trade with, $3,000 to $5,000 position sizes sometimes. And realistically, for a lot of new traders, they can't take that approach. So how about having an individual who is kind of just starting out right now, but I'm sure with, just knowing Harley like firsthand, I'm sure that we can see that consistent growth, that when he can prove to himself that he can be a profitable day trader, he will be adding more, most likely, right, to his account, just because if he sees consistent growth and he sees that he's understanding this whole mechanic, then why not, add more to your account? But again, the time will come, and we want to make sure that we focus first on making all the mistakes right now with a smaller account, and kind of just getting the whole mechanics down. But I'm super pumped. So we're going to start sharing our screen on the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. So if you guys are tuning in, I'm going to start sharing the screen, then we're going to start breaking down stocks. I want to see what people have to say. People like to roast one another on YouTube, so don't get offended by the YouTube comments. So but yeah, so this is him, guys. He's going to be joining us, and let me know if you guys think okay, so you guys are all pumped and ready to go. Let's go ahead and do it. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and then we're going to start breaking down stocks. Again, I'm still taking my position on JD and you guys. We saw one stock that we were somewhat interested in before we actually went live. We're going to break it down, and these are the rules that we're going to be following. These are the rules that I want Harley to be following as well. So if you guys can see it right there, it says rules to follow. The first one is to trade quality stocks. The first one is identify a margin of profit, meaning that we're going to break down stocks and identify a margin of profit. Second thing is wait for the validation of the support. So again, waiting for the bounce. Cross above EMA. Again, we want to make sure that it's showing signs of an upward trend. The fourth one is formulate a plan, which means entry, exit, and stop loss. The fifth one is, manage risk. So setting your stop loss right after you get filled. And then the last thing is kind of just, whoa. Okay. The last thing is, trading quality stocks. So therefore, these are kind of just like the filter criteria that he can have set up himself. And that's below 40 RSI, above VMA, and good volume. And then we're going to break that all down for you guys if you guys are joining us for the first time as well. So let's go ahead and start sharing the screen. And do you have anything that you want to say right now?
Well, full disclaimer, my knowledge of the stocks is basically like I know what DGIA stands for, and that's about it. So
what's that?
Jones Industrial.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's about my knowledge. So
Okay.
As far as what we're starting off with here, that's my level of expertise within stocks. So we're starting ground level.
Okay, let's do it. So I think that's great for a lot of people that are just starting out. to kind of see how we can have that impact on Harley, and see how he can, start seeing growth. So I'm definitely going to be following up with him and keeping up to date with him, and kind of doing the same approach of, what the heck? Someone keeps trying to call me. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping up to date, and I want to make sure that I guide Harley in the right direction, especially because I'm going to have that firsthand mentorship on him. But definitely. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start sharing my screen, and we can go from there. Alrighty. So this is the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. Here now. But yeah. So again, if you guys want to watch our screen, you guys have to click on the link in the in this video that you guys see on the Facebook group, and then you guys can actually see our screen. So let's go ahead and go from top of the list. So, well, this is the one that we saw value in, and I'm going to break this down for you very quickly. The reason that we see value in it was this one was a call out by one of our members, had a huge drop, validated the support. Again, this is one of the stocks that I saw the most potential in. If you guys saw my video yesterday of the top stocks for October, and the reason why was it was trading above $16, right? Saw that huge pullback. So again, I've talked to you about like the RSI indicator. Do you see that it went below 30? It hit lows of like 9. So oversold by far. Validated the support. So again, that's, looking at our rules, we identify a margin of profit. So that's the margin of profit is from $12 to $16, right? That's great. That's 25%. Huge, right? Okay. We wait for the validation of the support. It validated the $12 support, so meaning that it did not go below it, and it started showing signs of an upward trend. We wait for it to cross above the EMA. So off the 20-day EMA, if I do a 20-day breakdown, that's when it crosses above $13. Just like I told you, I wanted it to cross above 13 and really start showing signs of an upward trend, because once it breaks this first resistance level, that's when we're actually seeing, when it breaks resistance levels around, $12, that's good. But when it breaks those dollar resistance levels, that's huge. So if we can really break above 13, then that could be a really good indication that we're getting in at a good price, and that we're starting to see signs of an upward momentum. So what we want to see, or the trend that we want to see form, is that cup and handle trend, meaning that it builds that like little cup, and then this is the handle. I think a good example would be, where's it at? EFX. Remember, I don't know if I've talked to you about EFX, but again, it had that huge downward trend, oversold by far, validated the support, and started building that, upward trend. That's what we want to see happen with MCRB. So the same thing is happening. We just need to wait for the cross above EMA. Looking at the day chart, it broke above 13, had a little bit of a pullback. This is what I use as my VWAP indicators. These are VWAP indicators. This is getting a little bit into it, and you won't have access to this on Robinhood. So you can download this TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. I'll show you how to do it. It's free, so you don't have to do anything. And it shows you real-time quotes. You can use all these indicators. But what this tells you is how I like to use the VWAP, and this is just how I like to use it. Is the gold line acts as a support. So again, the stock usually bounces at that area. The middle line acts as a resistance when it bounces. So when it's going from the gold to the purple, it acts as a resistance. Okay, but then when it breaks above, it acts as a support. So old support levels become old resistance levels become new support levels. So the red one now is when it crosses above the purple one, the purple now becomes a support, and the red now becomes a resistance. So that's exactly what happened. It crossed, hit the red line, acted as a resistance, is now seeing a downward trend. Again, it broke below the EMA, so it's showing signs of a downward trend within the day.
So all those lines are then created by this program itself. It's not like you're setting those lines.
Oh, I'm not setting those lines. It's the VWAP is a volume weighted average price index. I mean, really getting into it, there's an actual formula and why it moves the way that it does. But realistically, based on if we try to find one that I don't know, let's see if we can find one. When it crosses below the gold one, usually bounces there. Again, example, the purple one acting as a resistance, then seeing a downward trend. The same thing happens, with these stocks. It's just an indicator. You don't want to solely rely on an indicator, but it just gives you a better understanding of what most likely will happen. So right now, what most likely will happen is that, cross below the EMA, it hit the resistance first here at the red VWAP. So what is most likely going to happen is going to see a downward trend and try to bounce at around 1250, because that's where the purple VWAP is at. So it's going to see a downward trend and slowly, most likely try to bounce at that price point And does it mean 100% it's going to? No, but we wait for the bounce and wait for it to start trending up, and that's when we can take a position. Okay, so I'm going to set my alerts, and I'm going to put my alerts at 1260. And that should be good. And I'm also going to put my alerts just in case it bounces randomly and it doesn't actually hit that low point and starts to trend back up. I want to make sure that I'm alerted. So another indicator that I've talked to you about RSI, when it crosses above 70, it's overbought, right? So it's like too hyped up. Below 30, oversold. And then this MACD indicator, you see how it builds like these like little peaks and then these downward trends. So what I try to look for is, I don't really care too much about where it crosses or where it tells you to buy or sell. What I like to look for is when it peaks out, because when it peaks out from that point forward, it starts to show signs of a downward trend, and then that's when the stock actually starts to pull back. The same thing with its opposite. So when these things starts to peak out and then they start to get smaller, then that's meaning that this thing is getting ready to bounce.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you're looking for these red rectangles to start getting smaller then.
Exactly. So as these start to like decrease, then we're most likely going to start seeing an upward trend.
At what point would you judge it off these red rectangles that buying in then?
Well, I would take I take everything into consideration. I want to make sure that it's so when it's starting to see a downward trend, it's probably still going to drop a little bit more. It's probably going to get a little bit closer to 50. So that makes sense because that's where the purple VWAP is at. And then, as these things continue to get smaller, then that makes sense. The RSI indicator will most likely be below 40. So everything starts coming into play. Okay. It's bouncing at the purple VWAP. RSI is at the price point that I want. These bars are starting to get smaller, right? So that's really just it. So you have Ronnie on the Facebook group saying, learning from the best, Harley. Let's go. But yeah, it's still showing signs of a downward trend, and it looks like it's dropping like every 10 cents. So it dropped, to 1280, and then dropped, drop to like 1260 and then 1250. That's usually where we'll see the bounce. So I set the alerts. Now it's just all about being patient. Don't force the trade. You want to make sure that you're getting in at a good price point and that it makes sense and that you're not forcing it. So right now we just wait for the validation of the support. And we'll formulate a plan when it crosses and bounces. We'll formulate a plan on where we're buying, where we're selling, and where we're going to cut our losses, because that's very important. Okay. But we have all this set up. Let's go ahead and start going down the list. I do want to give a shout out to all those that traded AMD. I think this is a great example of how to kind of tell of when a stock is kind of like oversold, or overbought. So this stock was so if we do a 30-day breakdown, it was kind of flatlining here at 1250, started to show signs of somewhat upward trend, but very minimal, that it wasn't even worth investment. Today it peaked out at 1250, which is a known resistance again, right? Okay. So understanding that 1250 is really where you're going to want to sell, and as you see now, it's having a pullback, and now it's at 1330. So with that being said, it's most likely going to try to bounce at $13. Why would it try to balance at 13? I mean, those price points of 13, 1350, and 14 are known either supports or resistance levels. So you can see the RSI indicator is overbought. Now it's showing a downward trend. So not really interested. Like, why would you get in right now? It doesn't make any sense, right? Because it's way overextended and it's showing signs of a downward trend right now. And if you're trying to make a profit on this one, this is more of a swing trade. Why would you get in when the price is way too high? It's better to identify the low points, like when we were able to at 1250, and to have sold at 1350, because that's where all the profits at 8%. That would have, with $10,000, that's $855, right?
And this spikes within the last day or so.
The spike?
Yeah.
Within the past couple of hours. So 2 hours ago. So I didn't explain that to you. Each black area, that's 1 day. These gray areas separated. These are you see these dashes. This is pre-market hours, and then that's after-market hours from yesterday. And then this is the all day yesterday, and then pre-market hours of yesterday, and then after-market of yesterday. Okay. So I'm looking at. I'm sorry, I didn't explain it to you. And I want you to ask questions because.
I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Yeah. So this is a 20-day analysis on 1 hour candlesticks, meaning that we have 20 bars of days that have, including today, 20 days back, and each bar stands for 1 hour of the market open. So there should be about 8 bars for every single, market. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So ECYT, what did I tell you about this one? As a new trader, do you think it's smart to chase a stock that, I mean, it saw huge exponential growth, right? 300, almost 50% profit, so that's huge. Do you think it's smart as a new trader to be investing in low cap stocks that move so quickly that you might not know how to, buy quickly or sell quickly? It's not, just because it moves around so quickly, it's just the risk is so high that's personally how I lost majority of my money when I first started trading. When I started focusing more on quality stocks that were more long term, it gave me the, you have to learn how to walk before you run, right? So it gave you the understanding on, how the whole mechanics works, how to identify potential at a much slower pace. So once you perfect that, then, trading momentum stocks like this is much easier.
Yeah.
Okay. So although I know it's very attractive, 350% profit, your time will come, right? So CLSN, again, another one that saw a pretty solid pump. We did talk about this one briefly. I'm not too sure if you remember. So this is all within one day. Yeah. So we talked about it when it was bouncing at 1820. And now it's hitting that purple VWAP, it's acting as a resistance. But if we can cross above 1860, it has the potential, again, just like we said, to go to like that $19. We were talking about it when it was at 1840. And it had that 3% profit, yeah. So, I mean, right now it's already crossing above 1860. If you want, we can try to take a quick little day trade from 1860 to $19, and we could manage our risk like, it has 2.19 potential for profit, and then the potential for losses. I mean, if we get in at 1860, I would cut losses, when it crosses below the purple VWAP. So we're risking less than 1%. So
what's that set at?
What's that at?
The VWAP? Is that 56 or something?
What do you mean?
Well, I was trying to figure out what the VWAP said. So what would be? At what point would we?
Oh, the VWAP moves according to when it crosses above this, the VWAP will slowly move. It moves kind of with the prices themselves. So
Gotcha.
that's a good question. Yeah. So it'll probably be around 1855, 1850, 59, around that price range. Do you see that it's right about to break? It's trying to break that resistance at 1860. We can turn on level 2 as well, and then we can see where people are buying and where people are selling.
You can set it to where it automatically sell if it does drop below that VWAP at any point.
That's the stop loss. That's what I use. Let's say I get it at build at 1860, and because it starts showing signs of an upward trend, if I want to cut losses below the EMA, or even at below 1850, it'll sell my position automatically. Do you see it? You see all this now turning green, and all this volume starting to pick up? Look at these bars right here, and that's the volume starting to pick up right here, and we just crossed above 1860. It just broke above, and this is. Would you feel comfortable investing in this one? So look, the potential for profit from 1860 to $19 is 2.09%.
Okay.
And it's showing signs of an upward trend. It's above the EMA, so it's validating everything that we're looking at. Would you feel comfortable? The potential for loss is less than 1%. Gonna try it out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So if you want to get your phone out real quick. So we are. So Caesar, if you're asking to share my screen, the link is on this, so you can actually watch it on the Facebook group. On the YouTube channel, and I'm actually sharing my screen here. So right now, did you see that?
Yeah. I promise I'm not stoned right now, guys.
Yeah. So Ricky's friend is asking pretty good questions. I'm actually learning a few from this video. You see, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Nice when you don't know anything.
So right now we are checking out so TEVA. So TEVA. So again, he's using the Robinhood application. It's holding and still crossing above 1860. So we're at the 1 minute chart. So click buy. I like to put a limit order, meaning that I'm buying at my exact price point. Oh, it's going pretty up. So it's increasing. So click order type.
Okay.
Click limit buy. So limit.
Okay. Oh.
Sorry. And then put 18 dot. Right now it's 18 dot. It's experienced a little bit of a pullback. I would say 18 dot I think we can get filled at 18.662. Right now we have, it's dropping a little bit, and that's good. We want to buy it at the pullback as long as it bounces at 1860. So let's do 18.63.
63.
Click continue. So it would only buy at that exact price point, and it says time in force. So we'll just do it good for day, just like how it said. Continue.
Okay.
And then you can click on shares for TEVA, and it will tell you how many shares you can buy.
You can click, okay.
And then it says how many you can buy, so you can buy that. So click dismiss, and then you can put that figure.
All right.
So click review, and then we just swipe up.
Swipe up to submit.
And then if you want to share it.
Boom. Where we at?
Right there, both screens.
Okay.
So right now it's still going
It's
up.
got confetti too.
Yeah, it says you just made your first trade.
It's exciting.
So there it goes with the pullback. I think you should have gotten filled. Click X. Scroll all the way up. You have not gotten filled yet.
What does that mean?
Like you haven't purchased the stock yet.
Oh, okay.
Because you're putting a limit order. There you should have gotten filled. There. You see that?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Boom.
Nice. I got 3 stocks now. The first stock was SiriusXM. That was my free stock from a.
Yeah, so I gave him my referral link. The link is down below, and he got a free stock, and it was $5.50 that he got for free. So if you guys aren't signed up for Robinhood, the link is in the YouTube channel description. So feel free to download it. So now that we got you filled, so it is dropping a little bit. So it's at 1863.
I'm only losing money.
You're down 1 penny. 1 penny. So, but it's very important, regardless that you're taking a very small position right now, right? Regardless of that, I want you to treat it as if you were trading with $10,000, and I want you to focus on percentage growth. So what I want you to write down is, let's say you were trading with even, let's say like $1,000.
Okay.
That's not you, so you're good. Let's say you were trading with $1,000. What is the max loss that you would want to lose? Is it 1%? Is it 3%? Like, where is it that I can? So just to put in perspective, if you lose 1% of $1,000, that's $10.
Yeah.
So would you be willing to lose $10 every single time you trade? Would you be okay with losing $30? Or
so would this be with me anticipating that it's over like a day that I'm be trading the stock, or am I trying to hold on to this over a longer period of time?
So this individual stock itself, I would like you to just day trade.
Okay.
I feel like it has the margin. I'm going to share the screen again so you guys can see exactly what it is that we're looking at. But I feel like it has the margin within itself, all within 1 day, for it to make its way from 1860 to $19 all within 1 day. Because today itself, it came from 1916 to down to $18. Okay, so it would have been a much better opportunity for us to have bought it when it crossed above the EMA.
Yeah.
But realistically, you know, I mean, we set a time for you to come over, and that was it. But we're still above the EMA, and that's what we want to focus on. Where I would like to cut losses is if once it breaks 1% below the purple VWAP, that's where I think it would be the most a vital, you know, price point on where to cut losses. So that would be at 1838, meaning that we give it 1% from 1838. So overall, from 1838 to 1863, where you purchased that, you are risking 1.36%. Is that something that you're comfortable risking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So let's write it down. So now we're going to be formulating your plan. So put your purchase price, buy, where you bought at. You bought at 1863.
Oh, yeah, 63.
Our plan to sell is at the resistance at the $19 price point. So sell. And then where do we plan to cut our losses? So stop loss is going to be set that it will sell your position automatically when it breaks below 1% below the purple VWAP, which is at 1838. So stop loss set at 1838.
Stop or stock?
It's stop loss.
Oh.
Yeah. Which means that once that market price hits that exact price point, it will automatically sell your position.
1838?
Yeah. 1838. So you are risking 1.34%. So put that.
Okay.
So your potential for loss is 1.34%. And your potential for profit is 1.98%. Therefore, we are risking, and this isn't the best, again, this is a much lower pay stock. So you're up right now, it's at 1865. Your potential for profit is 1.98%, and your potential for loss is 1.34%. So the thing that I want you to do right now is to set your stop loss. We're managing your risk, and that's what the most important thing is, because if we can minimize the amount of money that you lose and focus on, you can take 2 losses right here, right? I guess this isn't the best example, but usually I have like a 5-to-1 ratio, meaning that like for every 5% potential for profit, I'm willing to risk 1%. This is a much lower stock, so this is just fine. But even if I take 3 losses at 1% and I'd make 1 good trade at 5%, at the end of the week I'll still end it on the green note, right? And it's because you're managing your risk.
So you typically look for profit that's 5 times the amount of what I could potentially lose. So like you'd want to see, like, for this, since my potential loss is 1.34, you'd be looking at like something that's like 6.8.
So it would have been like, buying when it crossed above the EMA right here at like 18, like 20. And then when it hit like highs of $19. So even 4%, that would have been fine, because if we would have gotten filled at like the 1820, I would have cut losses if it gone below 1820. So that's less than it's less than 0.5% of loss. So that's pretty much what it breaks down to. So right now it's right at 1861. So one of the most important things is like, let's put a sell, order types, stop loss, and then put 1860. Oh, I'm sorry, the 18. Continue.
Same thing, just one day.
Yeah. So it's a stop loss. Put the orders, the number of shares that you have. Yep. So review, and it tells you shares of TVA, stop price of 1838, and means that credit will be put back into your account, and then you just swipe up. Therefore, regardless of what happens, the most that you are risking is 1.34%. So if you're trading with $1,000, the most that you're actually, although you're investing $1,000, you're only risking, 1340, which is comfortable, right? No commissions. I mean, if you were trading with you can click done. If you're trading with a platform that charge commissions, you're pretty much paying about $10 to $14 per trade anyways. So you're good there. So we bought your first stock, we managed your risk, the risk involved, and now we'll end the live stream here. So I want to see what a couple people have to say. You need to type with that. But yeah, that's really just it. So I want to know what you guys think, and for those that aren't joining us live and just want to comment down in the description, I want to make Harley a YouTube channel for those that are using Robinhood and just getting started, to have someone that can kind of lead by example. Like I said, I don't think it's very realistic for me with a much larger account and a little bit more experience, right, to trade in the stock market. I would like someone, kind of like when we were doing the Robinhood $1,000 challenge. I'd like, Harley to take over that, and for him to be able to lead by example and hopefully guide the people with much smaller accounts in the right direction. So I hope that you guys are pumped for that. That's something that I want to work with Harley at. Yeah. So, and he was super excited about it. At least that's what he told me. So overall, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we focus on just consistent growth. And all I want him to focus on is investing in stocks that are seeing an upward trend, and that the potential for profit is greater than the potential for loss, and that we manage our risk in every single position. That's what I want him to focus on, and we'll get the mechanics down. We'll make some mistakes, but overall, we're making the mistakes when we're investing a much smaller amount of money. So once we filter out all those mistakes and we become a more refined trader, then you can start trading with $500 or $1,000 or whatever it is that you feel comfortable with, and really start kind of getting it going. So I'm super pumped on that. Let's see where it's at right now. So right now you're still down about 1 penny. Nothing crazy. So thank you guys again so much for watching. So again, if you want to get your free stock, the link is down in the description so you guys can download the Robinhood application. And if you guys want to join and be a part of our group, we have over 47,000 members within our Technical Solutions platform. It says free Facebook group link in the description. You guys can feel free to be a part of our group. Once you get accepted, on the top pinned post, there is the Discord main group chat link. That is where you can, network with the thousands of investors that we, just network with on the day-to-day. All we ask you, again, we provide you this all for free. All we ask you is to promote a supportive environment and to share your best practices and share your mistakes to promote overall group growth. So if you guys have any questions, you guys know how to reach out to me. And that's really just it. So if you guys found this video helpful and would like to, be a part of Harley's success, please give the video a thumbs up. I'll keep you guys up to date when we make his YouTube channel. And then I do want to let you guys know that, again, we will be releasing the lesson library on Monday, and that's going to offer that firsthand mentorship. So if you guys like kind of like what me and Harley have going on, or the approach that I was able to have, or positive impact that I was able to have on my little sister, and you want that firsthand mentorship from myself, then feel free to stay tuned for that program to be out, and then I'd love to be a part of your success. A lot of people are asking me, oh no. Oh no, you're still good. A lot of people are asking me, how is it that you guys sign up? I'm going to be posting the link, and the first, right now we're thinking about the first 300 people to sign up. That's kind of where the number is at. 150 people to first 300 people to sign up for the mentorship. So we're all good there. Thank you guys again for everything that you guys do. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams, and like always, guys, let your passion be what drives you in your success. Do you want to say anything, Harley?
No, I'm excited. I don't know anything, but we'll learn on the way.
You have to say, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note.
Send the year on a green note.
Let's make sure that we end the year on a green note.
Let's make sure we end the year on a green note.
Let's go. All right. Thank you guys. Take care. I hope you guys have an amazing day.